There's so much uncertainty right now. Where do we go from here? Is our whole world in crisis? Do we just endure this alone, cut off from each other? Even though we have the time to pause, reflect, and concentrate on what's important, we wonder about our personal finances, our economy, our businesses, and our careers. This isn't going to be easy. It's going to be difficult and hard on all of us. Yet, we're all in this together, and we can now direct ourselves, lead ourselves, and grow ourselves. What if we did this as a community, socially distant, yet together? Online, at home, starting new businesses, serving new needs, building new paths. Having new joys, new friends, in a new virtual gathering of great minds. A new beginning. Let's make it together.
Hey everybody, thank you for joining me on another GritCON Expandcast. Today is April 24th, 2020. It is 4 p.m. here in the East Coast, 4:04 p.m. On the East Coast. And I really appreciate everybody being here. All right, hopefully you can hear me just fine. Somebody can give me a thumbs up or whichever. I really appreciate that. Thumbs up, happy, a heart, whichever it might be. It means a lot to me if you could do that for me. But in case you do hear me and the podcast goes off well, we are definitely live here, and this might be possibly the last GritCon I do by myself. Hopefully, that's the whole point of this, is that GritCon is a community and not just Ron Suzuki speaking. Thank you for coming on for the first 5 episodes of Expandcast. And I got some incredible news at the end, and I'm really excited for everything that's happening here for GritCon. And thank you for joining us wherever you might be, and even if you are hearing the recorded podcast. It means the world to me that there is an audience listening to this and enjoying this and moving forward with their businesses, and hopefully I can take away some value for you for now and in the future as well. I believe the material that you're going to get from this is going to work for you in or out of this pandemic. But I know it's especially tough for a lot of people. I know that there's a lot of things going on. There's some states that are talking about opening up again. There's some people going back to business, back to work. But at the same time, we, it's kind of, I wasn't intending to do this, but it's kind of difficult to try to weigh, safety of yourself, your loved ones, elderly, or people that have lowered immune systems, and you believe that we should stay safe and try to, stay at home and stay safe and everything. And at other time, we're entrepreneurs and we're trying to weigh going back to work and getting my business back up and getting my income going again and serving my clients and everything too. So, I understand you feel torn. You feel torn between both energies there. And hopefully with GritCon Expandcast, we can explore that in a positive way to help you move forward through whichever the future throws your way, whether your state is open or not, or you decide to voluntarily keep things on your business shut down just for the sake of your employees and yourself, or your clients, or anybody in the general public, including your loved ones, right? So this isn't a show necessarily to go over medical or public health concerns. This is a business-oriented show on entrepreneurship. And but I understand business and public health right now are complete It's a real decision that you have to make. I won't judge you one way or another. Uh, you have to make the right decision for you. At the same time, if you decide to open your business, please do it in a very safe manner, as safe as possible. I know you will. I know you will. But let your employees know and the people on your team know to keep it up. If they clean more often, if they wear their masks, if they wear their glasses and everything, and they don't shake hands, but they still create an environment for your customers and the general public to feel safe. I'm with you on that. So, all right, on to what we're talking about today, because there's a whole bunch of transparency that's happening right now with the current events, and I'll get to my slide here and take the camera off myself and go back to the slides, and we'll go from there. All right. Let's see. That should be there, and it should be here. And this is what I'm seeing. So hopefully that's what you see. um, again, using a Google Drive for this. So view and present. Okay. So transparency for everyone. Transparency. Being open about your processes and what you're doing, and your business as well, being transparent with the general public and also your clientele about how you do your business and how they are participants in your enterprise. So it's a huge thing. I know maybe it's old news to talk about transparency in business. It's been around really since probably about the mid 2000s, 2005, 2006. But at the same time, it's quickening its pace to the point where even your personal life is very much transparent, right? So we'll go on from there. All right. So in my opinion, I believe transparency equals honesty, especially when it comes to business. Now, what we saw just now in the latest news, I know it's April 24th right now, is that all those payroll protection plan income, the business, the business money that was the government set aside to give out as loans to small businesses was scooped up by large publicly traded companies who had millions, and if not in some cases billions of dollars at their disposal, not in their company, but they had access to it, scooped up a lot of the small business funds so that not a lot of small businesses were not able to participate. A lot of small businesses were not able to participate in the first round of PPP. Our American government has passed legislation, both in Congress and everything, to push it through to do a next round of funding for small businesses, and has come out and said that if you're a big publicly traded company, not only are you not participating in this next round, but if you did get millions of dollars last time, you need to get that back. And even to the point where they will actually, in a sense, punish you. If you're a big business and you refuse to give the money back, I'm sure they'll figure out some way to make it painful. So bad publicity caused Ruth's Chris and Shake Shack and maybe some other companies to turn right back over tens of millions of dollars that they took on PPP. Now, some people in the community were a bit concerned. It was like, well, big businesses need to feed their employees and pay their employees. I agree with that 1,000%. They do. But they have capabilities, because they are publicly traded companies, to access funds from their investors, to do stock discount sales. They can discount their stocks and sell and get an influx of money, which why they were able to, in one case, they were able to get $125 million in less than a week from their investors by discounting their stocks or whichever, if they split their stocks, whichever way they go about it. So that's what my dismay was, is that they have an array of abilities to raise money. That's why they are a publicly traded company. But the reason why we even know about it is because of transparency, because they are a publicly traded company. Okay, publicly traded means that the information about their books, information about their profit margins, information about how they do their business, information of what moves they're making, right? And what money they took in from loans and what their debt load is all, anybody can look it up, is given access to see all that information, because the public, they put themselves out there as a publicly traded company. So it's a good thing in a sense that we found out about this because of transparency. They're publicly traded. They have to put out this information. It's not like somebody did an expose in the press about this. Now, I'm gonna, there's a lot of feelings about the press right now, but right now, I do believe the press is doing what they can to inform the public about public health and public safety. They're doing a good job of it. They're showing the information, and they're exposing the transparency of what's happening with these publicly traded companies. They're bringing it to our attention, right? So they're, in a sense, for the first time in a while, I mean, they do offer a public service, but they are doing a fantastic job of keeping us informed. Overdoing it, maybe, in some cases. Some people agree they overdo it. But I think we saw how quickly we were able to stay at home, and we get information directly from a lot of sources directly into our fingertips, right? And that's part of the check and balances of the Western culture, and it's particularly in the American culture of check and balances. So we not only have a Senate, and a president, and the executive, and the judicial, and all those parts of the legislative part of the governments as checks and balances. As we grew up as children, hopefully you did learn about this in the American school system. If not, that's what's there for. That's why we have different systems for checks and balances. Part of that system that was built is called the free press. So not only is there a governmental structure, but I actually do believe the free press is there to also keep the checks and balances and information flowing for transparency about what's going on in your government, in your publicly traded companies, in your public safety, and everything. And it's what this whole talk is about today. It's transparency and honesty. People need to know what's going on, and so in this case, to survive, to live, to not die from COVID-19, to not see a whole bunch of loved ones perish in a short period of time, to not overwhelm our medical system, right? So what does that have to do with my business? We're talking about public trade companies, we're talking about the government and everything too. What does that have to do with me and my business, right? Well, the more transparency you have in your business, I believe it's going to be for the benefit of the success of your business. It has for mine and my businesses. I believe transparency has helped my business move forward, and where it is now, that I have an income in the middle of a pandemic because of a business that I built, right? Nice cat. I'm sure the cat's behind me somewhere. Thank you, Carolyn Bass. Thank you. I'm not sure where the cat is, but I'm sure she's around here somewhere. All right. So, and we see it in our culture today. We have glass houses, and if you're joining me on my podcast, I'm going through a visual. Let's call it transparency. No, it's a presentation. But glass houses, glass offices, glass buildings, right? I had an office in a co-working space, and the whole office was glass. It was open air, and every office suite was all glass, from floor to ceiling glass. You could see what's happening in everybody's affairs, in their business, conducting their business. Had this been the 1960s and 70s, you would not see something like this. You remember those old office buildings with the big oak doors and brick buildings, and in that period of time, in that generation, it was how big your building was and how much brick and wood and barriers and walls and closed doors you had. For some reason, built honesty with people. I don't know. It's a backwards way of thinking compared to where we are today, but compared to now, we see our entire culture has embraced the openness of transparency, right? We have glass airport terminals. We have glass buildings, glass offices, glass doors, glass house. We live and some people live in glass houses, and they love that openness, that open air, that feeling of, instead of the constriction, they have the openness of the wide open space, right? And in that, you see everything that's happening outside, but at the same time, outside can see you, right? And our modern society was able to embrace that in architecture and the arts and in the way we live and the way we exist now, right? I mean, how many houses have you seen where they've taken out walls and made things bigger? I know some people in the reservation industry love that, right? So I believe the more that's what people are searching for, they want to see, they're used to seeing. Um, and it goes deeper than just having, okay, so I just work in a glass office, Ron, I should be fine. No, there's more to that, and that's what we'll discuss here. So, in what way are your processes and the ways you help the public and your clientele transparent? Your processes, your businesses, ways you help, what you can and can't do. Okay, this is what my team can do. I can speak to my own company for sure without any impedance that we know photography, we know video production, we know how to make a website that's non-e-commerce. Let me put that out there. That's how I'll get to the limitations here. Non-e-commerce websites, we know how to do that. Non-governmental websites. But if you have a service or product that is to a point, we can help you create a premium website. But when it comes to e-commerce and making something that's meant for government organizations or classified information on a network, that's not necessarily our forte. We also do great at digital marketing, whether you're using Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, which is our main places, and other ways that we help people with their digital marketing, right? At White Box Media. And I'm being honest too, GritCON and White Box Media has some of the same owners except for one. We have an owner who's different from the ownership of White Box Media, but a lot of the same majority ownership of my private company is myself. And between both companies, GritCon and White Box Media. So if you see sponsorship by White Box Media, I'm being honest, it's sponsored by a company that I own majority control of both entities. Both entities are at LLC, but I am beholden to my board of director partners to do the right thing for both companies, right? So I know I'm majority owner and I manage both companies, but at the same time, I still have somebody I'm accountable to make sure our business is successful, and also at the same time follows a moral code of honesty and legality and even the books and everything, right? So be honest is the way to do business. Know your limitations. And also, too, let's be honest, people want to see that. They kind of expect to see that now. You know, this cooking shows is the biggest example of that, where now people want to see their food be made before they eat it, if possible. Maybe not, they're going to stand over the person that's making it, but at least see the kitchen. High-end restaurants have this big, I don't know, hole in the window that the dining room can see the kitchen. And they may not be able to see everything that the kitchen is doing, but they see that they're wearing professional hats and gowns, and they're being clean, and they're turning their food into art and everything. Same thing with cooking shows in general. You want to see how that food is made and duplicate it, and see if you can, be the same kind of recipe artists that's creating that food. So same thing with your business. Not to say that people want to copy what you're doing, not to say that people want to, see every little detail, but in what ways, just gotta ask yourself, in what ways could I bring more transparency to my business so that it builds the trust factor? Okay? Watch me as I. Watch over my shoulder as I help build your system. Help me build. I build a marketing system for a client, and if they really wanted to, they could hit record and basically duplicate everything me and my team was doing. But at the same time, every client I have can literally watch over my shoulder as we build what we make for them. At the same time, they know that we're a team of people that have been doing this for a while. We know what we're doing. We're skilled at what we're doing. And we've invested a lot of time, energy, and money into making this part of our daily process. We do this all the time. We do digital marketing all the time. And due to COVID, we're not doing video and photography production. But we have literally thrown decades of our lives at video and photography production. So I'm not worried about my clients copying what I do, because if you want to throw another 2 decades at learning how to be a great videographer and photographer and digital marketer at the same time as what you're trying to do for your business, by all means. But at the same time, people want to pay for professional results. You could take the time over the next 10 years and learn everything about cars and trucks and tires and wheels and oil pressure and brake oil and intake manifolds and exhaust manifolds and every little thing that it takes to that puts your car together, including the computer system, the electronics, the electrical engineering, and everything. And you could literally open up a garage in your home, whichever, or in your parking lot, whichever, and start to fix your car yourself and save yourself that money from paying an auto repair place from fixing your car. You could do that. Now you're gonna spend a very long time doing that. Spend in years, learning a new craft, new skill, and everything. And for the purpose of saving a few hundred or a few $1,000s a year, no, you're gonna pay a professional. I'm gonna pay a professional to fix my car because I got other stuff going on. Same thing with a lot of things that we pay for in our lives, right? And then I appreciate that my auto mechanic is transparent with me, even though I know enough about cars, and I know that I can just walk in there and say, "Hey, I got a problem with my brakes. I know, I scraped into my rotors. It's going to cost me a lot. I already know what's going on. I'm not going to do it, please." And they know it. Ron already knows what's going on, but we're just going to fix it for him, right? I know enough because I grew up around cars as a child, but that's not my forte, and it's not my passion, right? So if you're ever wondering if somebody gonna, and I guess I'm skipping ahead a slide or so, if somebody's gonna steal your secret sauce, you know what? Is somebody gonna take, a lifetime of professional knowledge and skill and education to replace, what you provide for them? No, you should take confidence in your ability to be great at what you do, be honest about what you do, be transparent about what you do, and go from there. Now I'll talk about secret sauce in a little bit. You should, if you did spend time to create secret sauce and secret drawings and blueprints and the way you made tools, it literally took you 5 years to make a certain tool a certain way to make you millions of dollars. Then obviously I do want you to hold on to your secrets. I do. There's a caveat to that, right? But in general, I'm just saying in general, a lot of service businesses and a lot of product businesses, people want to participate in what your business is and what it does, right? So, and I'll be honest, this entire culture that we live in now with YouTube is a number one how-to network in the world. It is the go-to how-to network in the world. People in that search engine, they type, "How do I blank? How do I blank? How do I become a better photographer? How do I change my oil? How do I change the headlight of my car? How do I make a spaghetti? How do I make a quiche?" YouTube is the number one place where people are going to go for that. If you are a person that's putting out information on your craft and your skill, you got a great place to go, and that's YouTube. I'll be honest with you. That's what it is. All right? So, with your own clients, you never want to keep them in the dark. You want to update often, present, and in a sense, you're reselling them. Maybe you sold them well in the very beginning, but that is a constant process. And you updating your clients should be something that you feel good about, because good or bad news, good news. I have it with my clients all the time. All the time. I got some good news. I got some bad news. And you know what? There's no such thing as a business that's always got good news as if you're a service provider for somebody else. It's just impossible, unless not impossible, but if you are somebody's service provider for years on end, something eventually go wrong. For example, if you own a barber shop, one day, maybe the electricity goes out, right? In my case, platforms, I've literally had to go through major overhauls on digital marketing for my clients because things have changed in this current pandemic. And me and my team was like, that's not what we're expecting to do happen this month, but we will get in there. You pay us to fix that problem, technological problem for you. We will go in there and fix it. We weren't expecting to do it, but that's what we'll do, right? Um, and I informed them. I let them know what's going on. Let them know what the process is, and I even did daily updates recently for a client, right? So update often, present, and resell. By you updating your clients often, it holds you accountable to your own transparency. I don't know if this whole accountability um, thing is what you've been searching for a very long time. I'm telling you, this is a way to be super accountable to yourself, is to be open to your clients and to the public about what you're doing, so that that's something that's out there as, oh my God, I do need to do that, didn't I? I did promise the public I was going to do that. I did promise my friends and my family and the people that follow me that I was going to do something. So, GritCon is part of my promise to the public and promise to the business community that GritCon was not going to go away. And this is what this podcast is. I'm holding myself accountable to something that was started in 2017 and still going today, right? GritCon is here to help business owners grow and expand their business. And if you've never had a business before, we're going to help you start a business. If you have a business or enterprise, you want to take your business from a small mom and pop and just yourself to an enterprise level, I believe there are certain businesses you can do that with, right? And also too, it's kind of like an attitude that you adopt and you just stick with. Well, now that I put that out there, let's be honest. Let's be moral in what we do, and let's continue what we promise to do. Okay, and that is also part of what goes back to the last episode about community and why you can build a team by being transparent and honest. I'm telling you, in this day and age, people are going to follow somebody who's transparent and honest. All right, so. And also look at this weekly check-ins, not only with yourself, with your team, email check-ins, chat check-ins. There's no excuse these days. You got text, you got different platforms, you got Messenger and everything. Hey, we're working on this. This is the next project that's coming up. Oh, especially with your clients, the term, "Oh, we're just working on it. Don't worry," it should not be in an email. It should not be said in a chat. It should not be said verbally to your clients. This is what we're doing. This is what we hope to accomplish, and there may be some unvariables. For example, I'm honest with my clients. This pandemic, I know we can talk about 1918 with Spanish flu, and we can talk about 2020 with COVID-19, but did they have social media and digital networks in 2018? No, they didn't. So, it's a totally unprecedented type of deal, which affects every industry in America right now. So how do we adapt and overcome that together? Through transparency, communication, and community. I'm going to repeat that again for clarity. Transparency, community, and clarity. That's how we get through this, right? Maybe this doesn't just go for business. This goes in a lot of parts of your life. Maybe in your personal relationship with your best friends or your family or your spouse or your children is going to improve because you have more transparency. I guess I'm not a father, but I can only imagine. I have friends that have teenage children, and I can imagine in 2020, if you got teenage children, it's beyond transparency. So if you're a parent of a teenage person, I don't have to teach you about transparency, right? It's but those of us that don't have children or don't have whichever gap that there is on that, pretend like pretend like there's a teenage you running around and looking at you doing your thing. So in what ways are you're not transparent? What ways are you need to be more honest with yourself and everything, right? Because I'll be honest, pretend like you have a mentality of a teenage person right now is about, I don't know, a huge part of me when I was a teenager was I respected people that earn respect, not just give it away, right? So I respected people who were always learning. Okay, I respect people who are open and honest. I respect the heck out of the humble hero, right? The person that's not being in your chest about what they do. They just kind of just do it over a long period of time. They become the ace at what they do, right? And the people that watch I actually was a kid. I'm that old enough to remember the brand new Bob Ross episodes. Brand new. This has never been released before. Here's Bob Ross, and he was alive at the time. He was the person that you see in the videos. I'm not sure why this generation embraces Bob Ross. There might be some hidden meaning. If you could tell me what that meaning is, people in the millennial generation, I like to know, because I remember I was a kid watching him, and I don't understand what this obsession is with Bob Ross. Maybe it's the big hair. I don't know. But watch me create this, and that's what he was the king of. I was enthralled by that as a kid. Wow, look at Bob Ross. This is boring as heck. I just can't watch this. But oh wow, look at him create. I would always watch the beginning of Bob Ross and the end of Bob Ross. I remember Bob Ross starting off with this blank canvas, and at the end, like, wow, that's a beautiful scenery. Maybe that influenced my love of nature photography. Maybe it did. I'm not sure. We'll revisit that myself in my own head. Let Ron be honest with himself during a live podcast, right? So, person respects the other person that always says, here's what I found. I found this. And there's a nice picture here for those on the podcast of some young people with masks on outside, but they're looking at a cell phone together, right? Here's what I found. Look what I was able to find. I'll let you. I mean, I'll be honest. Some of the technology, call it technology stack, I use is free. Anchor, and I'll get to Anchor about how Anchor's like a perfect example of this. Anchor.fm. Anchor.fm gave me all the resources to put out my podcast for free. It's free. I paid $0 to Anchor, and I'm on all these different platforms. Discord. I paid $0 to Discord and Discord app to be in contact with my team. And instead of paying hundreds of dollars a month for a communication tool, I use Discord for free. I've yet to pay a penny to Discord. That's me being honest and truthful about, here's what I found, everybody. I found Discord and I found Anchor. It's free. I don't see anything yet where I have a payment bar. I click pay now for anything. There's even business models that are built around that, offering free services so that one day they can, open up a part of what they're doing and people can voluntarily pay. There's people that put out entire free articles, free YouTubes, free everything, and then they wait till later to get paid on something that a community member wants to pay for eventually, right? So the leaders of this, I guess you could say, in the turn of the 2010s was Gary Vee, of course. We really appreciate Tea with Gary Vee that's happening right now. That is amazing. I try to watch. I'm a pretty busy person, but I try to watch some episodes here and there. He will say the exact same thing that I'm saying here, probably a lot shorter. But I'm a fan of what he says. You also got, that's very interesting, Gary Vee, Billy Jean kind of work together. Billy Jean in digital marketing, right? He had a program for $31. His entire program stack for $31. Who gives away their entire transparent business model for $31, right? And we got Mr. GC, Grant Cardone. I honestly say one of my mentors, and I do say that because I do have personal one-on-one texts, and I spent 15 minutes more. Well, 15 minutes in person and several interactions directly one-on-one with him. I don't remember spending thousands and thousands of dollars for that, but because he volunteered in a time period when he was volunteering to teach veterans entrepreneurship, I was one of the people he taught. So I really appreciate those who give of themselves with transparency to teach other people for next to nothing or free, or put out platforms for free for the general public to use for the betterment of what they're trying to do, right? And I'm excited to bring on somebody that's going to show you how to do a lot of these things, and he actually believes in using all these platforms to create a business with zero cost. It's amazing. I love this guy. He's actually gonna. I'm excited. I'm not gonna put all his information where he's. I'm not gonna be transparent for the sake of being to build excitement. That's the only reason why I'm not being transparent about that. But this gentleman is literally gonna show you how to build a zero overhead business. A zero overhead business where you can make thousands of dollars a month. I just love it. I love this guy. I can't wait to work with him in depth. So he's not any of the people I just mentioned that is big, multimillionaire business owners, but he's incredible. I love what he does. He's helped many entrepreneurs across the country build businesses with $0. So it's amazing. And only in this day and age can we do this. You couldn't do this in the 70s. You couldn't do this in the 80s. You can only do this now, right? or in the future. So a trustworthy business is a transparent one. Now this is what I talk about, the secret sauce. You may have secret sauce, right? Yes, to a point, you do want to keep your, Colonel's secret recipe chicken and everything together, but understand that yes, and you do want to keep your security measures, classified data, your personal data, people's social security numbers, and everything too. I shred lots of information that end up on paper from my previous businesses, so it's not, nobody can find it, right? But also understand when it comes to your business processes, there's somebody out there that's probably going to do something similar to what you do and try to be better. So you always want to move yourself up through the process of growing and being transparent about your growth and everything. It's interesting. I get a lot of messages from I'm getting a lot of messages from people while I'm on a live cast. I heard this happens, by the way. When you're trying to do a live cast, everybody's trying to reach you. So I don't know if they realize I'm alive. So the biggest person you need to be transparent with is you. At the end of the day, I realized that the only way I was going to grow in business, there was an entire year of my life where I was trying to build a business where my needle just moved hardly anywhere. I've had an entire, I work for an entire year and make, a fraction of what I used to make in the military, or even, somebody doing Uber or Lyft probably make more money than what I was doing in that year. But one of the biggest things that came out of that year understanding was that I needed to be transparent as heck about myself, and I couldn't lie to myself anymore. I had to be dead honest with myself about why I wasn't making a business happen. And we can explore that further too, and through the GritCON process. So, and if you are in a position where you want to lead, or you are a leader, for some reason you end up in a situation where you are a leader now, you're gonna really have to embrace this transparency big time, okay? Because your results being consistent is based around your ability to be transparent with not only with yourself, but with your team and your clientele and with the public. Okay, so reassess yourself often. Reassess all the time. Am I BSing myself? What am I BSing myself before? One of the biggest questions I ask my team is, what is Ron BSing himself about? And in some cases with my partners, they will tell me without me asking. So you kind of want partners like that. You want business partners that are going to tell you what your blind spots are and what you're BSing yourself in the public about, because you don't have this ability to even ask. So I appreciate my business partners do. It's kind of irritating, pretty often it's irritating, but it's very helpful for the movement of my business. As painful as it is, right? So, but yes, nowhere did I say transparency was going to be easy. In this whole slide, I never said, oh, transparency is going to be easy. Transparency is going to be a walk in the park. No, transparency is going to be something that's part of grit, and that's why it's called GritCON, right? Transparency is hard. Transparency is a difficult thing to do. Okay, but it's got to be done. That's why it's called GritCON. All right, so not gonna be dismissive with that. Okay, this might be actually a short episode. Let's see if I can get it 45 minutes or less. Right, so I think we're at about 40-minute mark here. So what's next? Okay, on tomorrow's show. Finally, it's not just Ron. I promise you, this is not gonna be just a Ron show anymore. So, it's not only is she our first guest, but she's gonna be a co-host. And she's a actress, model, videographer, photographer, digital marketer, talent manager. I just can't. And I probably only mentioned like half of what she's done or does. And she's a young person that's definitely making some moves happen in Richmond, Virginia. If you're in the photography or modeling or fashion world of Richmond, Virginia, you already know who this lady is. But for the rest of the public, the rest of the world, she is generally kind of regional with her activities. But now, I want the world to know about Sierra Tillman, incredible person, incredible part of the White Box Media and GritCON team. And so finally, we're going to actually reveal her voice too on this podcast and who she is. And I'm looking forward to our discussion tomorrow. Newsflash when it comes to GritCON Expandcast, we are now on Apple Podcasts. Thank you, Anchor. Apple, you just got to look for us on iTunes and look for a GritCON Expandcast. I don't know, the list looks smaller than I thought it was. I thought everybody had Apple Podcasts. Apparently, it's a very slim. I'm thankful. Thank you. I appreciate people at Apple approving the process and Anchor working with them to make it happen. Again, I didn't pay Anchor a penny yet, and they got me onto Apple Podcasts. I'm so enamored. I'm so thrilled. It's beyond imagination. So we are legitimately on Spotify, iTunes, News Radio, Breaker, Overcast. It's too many to list. I can't even go through them all. Just thank you to Anchor. Thank you for the people over there. And if you're listening to the podcast, you probably heard this like 1,000 times. So if you have a podcast idea and it's something that you know that they can get through approval process, get yourself on Anchor and let's go from there. Also, thank you to our sponsors. Yes, White Box Media mentions them throughout. That introductory trailer that you see is made by the White Box Media team. BMC Accounting LLC, Dead Honest Transparency Truth. One of my business partners needed his help, and I think he got it done in like half a day. It was a mountain. I swear, if you were to actually talk about what the tax implications were for one of my business partners, it was a stack of papers like 2 feet high. Somehow or another, BMC Accounting got through that process in like less than half of a day. And I really appreciate what they're doing at BMC Accounting LLC. They are your digital solution for tax and accounting for professionals and business owners. Also, crossindustries.com, crossindustries.com. If you're looking for boat and truck accessories, because getting out there on the water or getting out there in the outdoors by yourself is something you can do and enjoy the great outdoors. Then that's the place you want to go, because they may have something that you need or want, from truck tents to rims, tires, to boat accessories, fish finders, and trolling motors, you name it, and everything in between. I don't know, trailer, things for your trailer, everything. They got it. So crossindustries.com. I know they're not in the visual graphic right now, but crossindustries.com. BMC Accounting LLC and White Box Media. Definitely check those out. But at the same time, I like for you, if you're enjoying this, please support us on anchor.fm/GritCon. That's anchor.fm/GritCon. Support this podcast monetarily at either 99 cents a month, $4.99 a month, or if you really love us, $9.99 per month. We've got some goodies for you. If you participate at $4.99 and $9.99, I got some major goodies for you that if we will figure out who you are. Obviously, we're going to see you donate. We'll follow you back on email and contact you and let you know what kind of goodies we have in store for you, and if you own a business especially. Stay tuned for us on Facebook on these channels and on YouTube. GritCON Events, Facebook, Ron Suzuki Personal, Ron Suzuki Professional. And if you are an exclusive GritCON member community, part of the benefits, I know some of y'all spend like $100 or more to be a part of that, and we are continuing to pour on the value for you in GritCON exclusive member community Facebook group. If you'd like to join, contact us at gritconevents.com/GritCon2. So that's gritconevents.com/GritCon2. Sign up by email so you can get into our program, where at the very least you get to not only this podcast and everything too, you will get the PowerPoints from every one of these. And we'll get you invited to the exclusive member community if you sign up for our program. I'm trying to make that extremely affordable, stupid affordable for everybody, to the point where they might feel like they're stealing from us. That's what my goal. If when we tell you what the charge is to go join the GritCon community, I'll even give you access to GritCon number 1. You will have downloadable access to GritCon number 1 if you sign up for the program that we have at GritCon 2. So thank you very much. Thank you for listening. I think that's in. Yeah, that's it. In right there, lady with her laptop. So 46 minutes. Okay, sweet. We'll wrap that up. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow on April 25th, 2020. C.R. Tillman will be joining me. And after that, the week after that, oh yeah, that's what I forgot to mention. Next week, we'll have our first guest. Outside of it, Sierra and myself, we're going to have our first guest. So looking forward to that. Talking to you soon. Have a great one. See you next time on GritCon Expandcast. Take care, everybody.